freedom, freedom means, if you think of this, when you speaking, think of the meaning, what free means, no imprisonment, no constraints, you know, uh, how y'all doing out there again? For the cause of chicken in. Hope everything going well with everybody as always. Everybody on the up and up. Uh, Free speech, I'm gonna try to define that. You know, everybody pretty much know what speech is. It means to talk, but I want to kind of define what free means. You think about free or freedom, you think about somebody who maybe, who committed a crime. Let's probably use that, because of some maybe they did wrong towards somebody or broke the law, and once they go in a court of law, get punished or go to jail or prison or something like that because of a decision they made, then hopefully that stint in jail or that stint in prison, that hopefully when they get out or get their freedom back, whatever they did, that choice that they made, or that constant decision that they made, hopefully that they don't do that again, so just to give you a little, try to give you a little example, but on and on, I think about free speech. I mean, you're gonna be saying things that are not, somewhat is liberating, whatever you're trying to get at. It is nothing to hurt anybody, or take for anybody, because like I say, words can do a lot, just more than just even physical touching. Words can have a lot of weight behind them. You could be putting people in prison with your mouth, or hurting people with your mouth. So in other words, you putting out there, it's almost just like a person in prison. You putting people in prison with your speech. You don't want to be doing jail speech, or prison speech. You think about those places, the old places that confine people, to a one-way thing, and it's just something. And like I said, they don't have freedom. A person that just don't have freedom, they're always being told what to do, and probably not always in a good way, because they, like I said, they're in captivity. You do want to capture people in a way, hopefully in what you're saying, but you don't want to be in such a way that you're hurting people at the same time. If you can kind of get that, or trying to, or doing damage to people, or things like that, just like a kid in school getting bullied, a person by the bully, he's talking smack and talking down to he or she, actually putting that person, that speech is bringing pain, or hurting that person, almost like I say, handicapping. Some people get handicapped, or handcuffed to what a word somebody say, that's detrimental, and that person, who has been done to, that speech, whatever they're saying is, it does something to that person. If it make that person feel, what the word is, especially when there are a lot of people doing it, make that person feel a certain type way that they are, scared, they scared, and making them feel self-esteem dropping, and all those things, or they feel like they're in bondage, or like I say, in prison because of the speech or somebody's doing to them. They don't feel free. But say like somebody who cares, they'll come, and talk to them in a good manner, friend, and talk to them like they ain't, like I said, an inmate. Just like some relationships with, prisoners and guards. In most cases, or I should say a trustee, that's a person, about on their way out. So they ain't got the same constraints as somebody, like I say, in that jumpsuit, they about to get out. So it's not as harsh, probably between the guards and everything. They make them feel like a human being, but when people, talking about people and making them feel like they're not a human being, that's where they can't claim free speech. That's more like prison speech or or jail speech, or confining somebody, trying to lock somebody down to some negative stuff. You got people like that claim free speech, but it's not free speech. Freedom. You think about freedom, that means you think of good things. No confines by. A person's not shouldn't be scared of somebody. Or threatened by somebody. Or living in fear that something is going to happen to them for them saying something. I mean, you got a lot of people living that way. They're scared to say things. And people they say bullying them or threaten them in a certain way, and they saying that that's free speech. That's not free speech. That's not. It's not nothing free about that. You constraining people. Putting, just like a newbie who just get in jail. He's like a little. He gotta get used to that. It's not looked at the same way. You're not as a trustee, because he did something or and probably caused hurt to somebody else. He ain't gonna get that good treatment. But anyway, like I say, free speech, man. A lot of people claim that, but in actuality, it's imprisoning people. Even the families and stuff, domestic violence and stuff like that, words carry weight, and can hurt people. You got to be careful what you say. The good books say you be slow to speak, and quick to hear, and slow to wrath. Because you don't want to be saying things that actually hurting people instead of liberating them, or making them feel. I mean, you gotta, if somebody's wrong, you correct it, and hopefully, what you say can, like I say, eventually help. Because not always what's right and ain't gonna always feel good. Sometimes, just like your parents, not everything that they said to you or whoever authority figure I know in my life, not everything sounded good, but it was right, and it helped me, but like I see, a lot of people claim free speech, but it just not free speech, just hate speech, and like it's doing stuff to imprison people, make them feel bad and things like that. You got to be careful about that, you got to check the merits of what the person's saying, like I say, nothing should be in a matter of nobody should be feeling threatened or being threatened or bullied and things like that for what they maybe just the way they believe or something. A lot of people don't believe certain things that I believe, but I mean, I ain't gonna go out my way to threaten them. You gotta be smart, but by the same token, in it, like I say, you ought to be able to talk out things in a way, not, you may, sometimes they say agree to disagree, but it should never get down to a physical confrontation and so personal that on either side of the game, you know what I'm saying? It should never be that. Of course, but and always be mindful, words carry weight and words can hurt worse than a fist. So you just be careful and wise, And think about that what that when they add free speech to it, you gotta kind of like I say, remember what free means. Freedom. You ought to be able to talk out things even if you have differences versus like I said, my way or the highway and things like that. And almost you don't want to say things that like I say, everything will always be good, but it be right. And sometimes certain stuff be right, but the timing be off. That is always a sweet spot, and now you hopefully that the timing is right too, in what you're saying. But if you don't want to, people shouldn't feel in prison to say anything, being color, gender, or whatever, religion, whatever. Shouldn't be feeling like they in captivity for saying something, or shouldn't feel that way. Because both parties, got an understanding that, this is a human being I'm talking to. I think more things can get done if it was like, wait, this is a human being. God made him just like He made me. If it gets like that, some make good can come out of things. Like I say, you don't want to have no hate speech. Freedom. If freedom means, you if you think of this when you speaking, think of the meaning of what free means. No imprisonment, no constraints. The ability, you can walk around, in public. I'm just probably hitting on some of it, but it's so many, probably more definitions of free, but that's all that coming to my head now. But when you speak, think of being free. Talk, talk like whoever you talk to them, man. Start it off with something good, a good thing. We, maybe say something good. Pray before if you're something serious, pray about it. Something good. You see some artists and football stars. The first thing they pray, they hold hands and pray. Let God come down. Give God that respect. Hopefully whatever you finna do, play a game, whatever it is, go to work. What on a work day, whatever it is, put God first. Whom the Son set free is free indeed. I like that's in there. Freedom. This is Sunday, so freedom. Think about freedom. Jesus liberated us. You want a situation like I say for everybody. He died for everybody. We all a human being. We all His creation, male and female. So let's think about it when you go to speak somewhere. Maybe start it off like I say with a prayer or something like that. Pray before you go. And think about when you say free speech. Think about what free means. You want to talk like you're free. I ain't talking like I'm in prison. I'm free. Prison talk. I got to get up at this time. I got to do this and that and all the other restraints. Because that's what prison is, restraint, almost like captivity. You can't do what you want to do. So, and the biggest thing, hopefully, when somebody go to prison is really what they say to rehabilitate the person from not doing wrong to somebody else or even to themselves. So, man, it's been a long video, but I'm just trying to put some things in here about free speech. Hopefully I've said something to, make you think. But a lot of people use that free speech term. I can say what I want to say, man. You can't say what words do have an effect on people. You don't want to put people make people feel bad about themselves or, like I say, constraint. You don't want to do that, man. You just don't want to do that. I leave it that way. Think about what free means. You know, but anyway, y'all be safe as always, as I say, man, and always stay thankful. You know, and I'll see y'all on this go round. Peace out.